Hey everybody, Fred Minnick here, and I'm about to review Sweetens Cove Kennessee. Kennessee. It is a blend of straights of Kentucky and Tennessee bourbons finished with toasted sugar maple wood. That's a lot of stuff going on up in here. You may recall in my my podcast with Peyton Manning, toward the end of the show, I told them, so first, let me back up for a second here, folks. Sweetens Cove is owned in part by Peyton and Eli Manning and Cooper Manning. So the Manning brothers have a stake in this brand. And I had Peyton and Cooper Manning on my podcast, The Fred Minnick Show. If you'd like to watch it, I put it in the description. Feel free to enjoy that. And toward the end of the show, I told them that their whiskey was too expensive. Now, they worked with Marianne Eves, a very good blender, a distiller, and she basically put it together, a 13-year Tennessee bourbon for them. It was very good, but it was really expensive. They came out of the gate like at $200, $220, something like that. It was ridiculously expensive. And I told, and they sold, don't get me wrong, they sold in their particular markets, but I told Peyton, I said, that having a $200, a bourbon right out of the gate is just like having the VIP suite. I was like, you got to have a general admission bourbon, trying to talk football with them. And lo and behold, that resonated with him and their company, and they now have a product that is $60. So while 60 is still just a touch pricey for a lot of folks, that's gettable for most. But this is Kennessee, and I do have to say, I love the name Kennessee, and I'm shocked that no one has ever used this before. And it's basically combining Kentucky and Tennessee. I think that's very clever. I really do like that. But now I'm going to go ahead and give this a taste. I have more information about the whiskey in the description. If you want to learn about that, go ahead and take a look. I'll have more about the pricing and all that, but I already said what the pricing was. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this. I will say, finishing with toasted sugar maple wood, they can be hit and miss. That wood has a lot of, if you don't toast it right or if you hit it too hard with heat, it kind of comes off as plastic in my experience. So here we go. The nose is very, very bright, very approachable, very sweet. This has got like toasted cornflake notes to it, like milk just touching it. That nose is popping up. It's got some other like sweet cereal. It's got like sweet cereals, like kids cereals. Then like melted candy corn. And it's not corn, but like if you've ever melted candy corn, it's got sweetness. It's like a touch of like plasticky kind of smell. So all in all, the nose is about 50-50 for me. There's some sweet stuff going on there, but you can smell that. I smell a trace of like either plastic or chemical, something like that. In Scotch, they would a lot of times you will see like their tasting notes. So they'll describe like wood varnishes and so forth. For me, sometimes those can come off as like chemical. So there is something in here that one of these things is not like the other kind of notes. So here we go. I'm going to taste it now. That is damn good. So the sweet notes prevail. It's really kind of, hitting my palate beautifully, curling up underneath the tongue, kind of tickling the bottom of it. It's like brown sugar butter on, brown sugar butter, like crumb cake. I like this a lot. the flavor profile on this far exceeds what the nose was showing me. But palate wise, this is great. Yeah, that nose is still a little off for me, but on the palate, completely different story. The best note I can give to this is brown sugar. Brown sugar, butter, maybe on a pancake, maybe on some oatmeal. But, you know, first it's like that sweet, and then the savoriness, and then kind of with something, you know, that absorbs it into like, then I get like this like crumb cake. But it's sweet. This is a sweet centric whiskey. If you don't like sweet, you won't like this. But to me, $60 this is worth $60. So if you find this in the store, take a flyer on it, give it a taste, let me know what you think. But this is following what I would like to see, and I think it might even be better than their 13-year-old product that they put out last year. And I believe I gave that a 92 in Forbes. That was 2 years ago, maybe. I don't know. But this really does hit the mark on the palate. The only thing that concerns me is what I smelled on the nose, and it hasn't gone away. So, but the palate, home run on the palate. The finish, it's still finishing on my palate. It little bit of a spicy tingle on the way down. So I think overall, this is a very solid, gettable. Highly recommend this whiskey here, the Sweetens Cove Kennessee. But that's going to do it for this tasting. If you would like to have seen this tasting live, become a member. All the membership was watching over here as I was tasting this and other whiskeys today for catch-up tasting time. So a lot of these whiskeys I received months ago, and I'm just kind of catching up. But hit the subscribe button if you would like to become a subscriber. Click the like button. It helps me with the algorithms of YouTube. But that's going to do it for this episode. Be safe out there. Remember, no licking handrails, no licking trash cans. And vodka sucks unless it's being used for hand sanitizer. Cheers, everybody.